I'll just give you a brief introduction and then you can take over, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Can we start, Prabhuji? Ready?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Are you ready, Prabhuji?
Fine.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so I'll just give you a quick introduction and then you can take over, Prabhuji. So, Hare Krishna. We welcome you all for today's Throwback Thursday program organized by Iskcon Seshadripuram. And today with us, we have very special guest, His Grace Harikshetra Prabhuji. Prabhuji, he studied his MS from BITS Pilani. And Prabhuji is originally from, Tamil Nadu, Coimbatore. And Prabhuji got connected to Krishna consciousness in 2005. And Prabhuji joined as a brahmachari in IS SLNT, basically, Sri Lakshmi Narasimha Temple.
No, in Seshadripuram only.
Oh, in Seshadripuram. Oh,
That time Narasimha Giridhari was not there.
okay, okay, okay. I came to Bangalore in 2013, so I was not aware of this. Oh, nice. Okay. So Prabhuji started in Iskcon Seshadripuram. So, great fortune that we have one of our old devotees. And then, currently Prabhuji is serving as president in Iskcon Whitefield. So in Bangalore, we have multiple temples. So Prabhuji, like we don't have just devotees from Bangalore, but from all over the world. So just I'm giving a little more for them. So in Bangalore, we have multiple temples. So Prabhuji is president for Iskcon Whitefield. And Prabhuji is also a representative for Iskcon Youth Council. And he's representative for South India. And it's our great fortune that we have Prabhuji with us today. So we welcome Prabhuji by chanting one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Over to you, Prabhuji.
नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताका स्वामिनिति नामिने नमो आचार्य पादाय निताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकथादामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So it's my pleasure to take association of all of you today. It's also a very nice opportunity to glorify the spiritual master. So there are different ways in which actually we can glorify. So glorification is generally called as kirtana. No kirtana or no to like mention about the kirti of a person is kirtana. And so when it comes to the kirtana, so it is mentioned about chanting the names of the Lord and glorifying his Nama Rupa Guna Leela, and then following his instructions, remembering the instructions, given by such a, a great personality, and executing those instructions. That is also, comes as a kirtana. So like this is all different ways in which we can actually perform kirtan. So I'm sure like many of you have heard many wonderful glories of Guru Maharaj, right from his determination, his the way he actually preaches to various people, like in the first go, like when he meets and he's able to connect with them, and he is very amazing and a very broad-minded ISKCON person, where he doesn't see whose disciple is who, and whoever is in distress, whoever is in need, he's always there. So it is like many wonderful glories. We can actually each of these topics, we can actually cite many pastimes and many glories we can actually discuss about, like our wonderful spiritual master. But today's session, I wanted to focus upon the instruction aspect. So it is very important for us to focus on the instructions given by the spiritual master. In fact, if you see, like, what is our relationship with Krishna? So, our relationship with Krishna is one of master and the servant. And what is our relationship with spiritual master or Srila Prabhupada? So, it's one of master and the servant. So, what it means to be a servant? So, servant means he needs to have a service. So, once one of the devotees in Bangalore, so he was mentioning that he may be his job may be at stake. So then I asked, like, why do you say like that? So then he mentioned that I don't have a project in the company. No, I have been put in the bench or the free pool or something like that. So then I told, okay, fine, like, no, you have lots of time at your disposal. You can just do Krishna consciousness nicely. Then he told, no, Prabhu, like, if I don't have a project, they will remove me anytime. So it will be an economic crisis for me. So, like, even in modern employment, we understand that employer-employee relationship means there needs to be some assigned service. So, in the same way, now we see that if there is service is not there, so then there is no point of a servant, like there is no way a servant can actually call himself a servant if there is no bona fide service. In fact, there is a wonderful shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam which says, Salokya sarupya sarishti samipyaikatvam api uta diyamanam na grinanti vinamad sevanam jana. So it it speaks about the Salokya, Sarupya, Sarishti. All these things are liberations, five different kinds of liberations. Liberation means, Salokya means like to reside in the same planet as the Lord, and Sarupya is to have same features as the Lord, and Sarishti is same opulence as the Lord. Samipya is like very being a very being in proximity to the Supreme Lord. So, in this way, like these are all nice liberations. And the Lord is mentioning that Diyamanam na grananti. So, even if my devotees are given these opulences of liberation, they would not take it. Diyamanam na grananti, binamat sevanam janam. So, without my devotional service. So, basically, if the Lord were to ask a devotee that you have done so much of devotional service, so you come back to the spiritual world, so the devotee will still ask that, my Lord, what will I do after I come back to the spiritual world? What will be my service? And if the Lord says, no, you have done so much of service, just come and hang around, like, no, just like relax a bit and things like that. So devotee will say, like, no, here I have service, no, better I stay back here only. So I don't want to come to the spiritual world, right? So it doesn't matter whichever the place a devotee is in. So what matters is if feels himself to be a devotee, if he feels himself to be servant of the spiritual master, servant of Srila Prabhupada, servant of Panchatattva, servant of Shri Radha and Krishna. So the meaning is fulfilled by the way of service. And no, Krishna's service is delegated through the disciplic succession. And Krishna gives the service delegation to Srimati Radharani and Baladev. And from there, through the disciplic succession, so we get a bona fide devotional service. It's very, very important. Like one needs to cherish, and it's just like if a person falls into a well, and if a rope is thrown, that is a saving grace. No, it's everything for him. No, like if that rope is not there, he will drown in the well and he will die. So, in the same way, in the material world, the ocean of material existence is very, very strong and very powerful. And no, the material existence means to condition a living entity for sense gratification. The disease in the material existence is sense gratification. And this sense gratification, if I have to treat this disease and I have to come to a healthy state of being cured of the disease, and then thinking that I have to render service to Krishna, service to like the spiritual master and things like that. So it is a treatment is needed. And the treatment is proper engagement in devotional service. And where will we get the service? How will we get that service? So that is through the disciplic succession, where we get the bona fide service. Now, if the service is not bona fide, if the service is not ultimately connected to Krishna, so then by doing that service, we are not going to get any benefit out of it. So we need to have a bona fide service in an unbroken chain of disciplic succession from a bona fide spiritual master. So when we have a bona fide service, and we should worship that service, basically, we should keep that very, very close to the heart. And we should worship, and we should consider, we should be very grateful to the spiritual master. So, in fact, there are certain accusations that actually happens, which many people actually speak about. What did your spiritual master do to you? He just gave initiation. He just left the place, and then did he? What did he do to you? No. So it's a very, very, very pertinent, very powerful question that actually comes. We need to know, like, what does Guru Maharaj do to all of us, and how is he protecting us? How is he saving us from the ocean of material existence? So what we actually need is the devotional service. And right in the day of initiation, so we are all given the devotional service, chant 16 rounds, follow 4 regulative principles. So this instruction needs to be worshipped. This needs to be kept very close to the heart. And so we see in the past, in the Vedic times, there are Gopakumar is there. It's a very classic example where he met his spiritual master one sort of little bit of a time, like he associated with the spiritual master. He rendered some service to the spiritual master. Spiritual master was pleased with him, and then he awarded him a process. By following that process, he is going to make spiritual advancement. And once he gave the process to Gopakumar, the spiritual master left the place and never to be seen again. And what is the treasure of this person? How is he going to be delivered from the cycle of birth and death or ocean of material existence? How is he going to get his spiritual perfection? So the instructions that he has got from the spiritual master, that is very, very, very important. So our saving grace is to get a bona fide service, and the service comes through the disciplic succession. In fact, I thought like it is from Seshadripuram. I prepared myself for the context of Bangalore, especially. So, anyways, it will be of great help for others as well. So, we will, I would like to share a particular set of instructions that Srila Guru Maharaj gave to the devotees in Bangalore. And this was somewhere around 2015 or 16, somewhere around that time. So like, no, it's an address that he gave. It's a recorded message that he gave actually. To the assembled Vaishnavas, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, I'll just make it into reading mode so that it is easily visible. Okay. To the assembled Vaishnavas, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. The idea of 2020, basically, Guru Maharaj gave a target of to be achieved in 2020. So to take the bold step of to make Bangalore the first Krishna conscious city is not just a sentiment. If you look at the history, you see how Lord Krishna and Lord Balram came from Dwaraka to Udupi, where they were worshipped by Madhvacharya. Lord Chaitanya accepted his initiation in the line of Madhvacharya, following Madhavendra and Ishwarapuri. Karnataka was the home of the latest, actually Vaishnava emperor. So Guru Maharaj wanted to say that it's the latest Vaishnava emperor, the Vijayanagara king, Krishna Devaraya. And we see that the people in Bangalore are generally either pious or they are intelligent. And we can probably find out other qualities. For the pious, where Krishna is worshipped in Udupi, we can directly preach how they can do devotional service to Lord Krishna. But those who are not so pious but are intelligent, we can convince them how Bhakti Yoga, how serving Krishna is the most effective, intelligent thing to do. My vision is that by 2020 we should have 1,000 Bhakti Vrikshas. Now you are saying 10,000. I don't have any objection. Just a minute. I don't have any objection, but I want to keep a number that is more accessible so that you can actually try to achieve that. 2020 would be the first step, and there would be a number of steps which will be revealed after the first step. Here we heard that Shankaracharya, he meditated and did tapasya so that his message would spread all over India. Just a minute, I'll just connect my charger. So in Karnataka, in Bengaluru, if we can establish the progress in Krishna consciousness, that would have a strong effect all over India. Also, when Hanuman was carrying the mountain with the Sanjeevani herb, a portion fell off in Karnataka. There are many ancient temples and ancient things in Karnataka. When Tamil Nadu was not favorable to Ramanujacharya, he took shelter in Karnataka. So Karnataka has the possibility for great progress, and Bangalore is its capital city is the head of that. We are very pleased that now two temples are working together to achieve the goal of 2020. Each temple has its own identity, its own way of doing things, and they are cooperating for common achievement of 2020. This is certainly very pleasing to Srila Prabhupada and previous acharyas, very pleasing to Lord Krishna. Working together is more difficult than being alone. But that's why when one works together with other Vaishnavas, Lord Krishna is more pleased because he knows that they are doing this to please me. Now is the beginning of the 10,000 golden years. Now we should bring in this era of positive spirituality. No excuses and no waits. And with a positive, friendly service attitude, we should be able to touch the heart of everyone. This is what I tell the doctors and nurses in the hospital when I tell them to chant japa, who have agreed to chant japa, that I pray for you every day. They smile, they appreciate that someone cares for them. When you have your congregation and devotees care about how to help people this and no, people leave this entanglement of this material world, that will naturally be very very pleasing to others. Sometimes a simple question, what type of birth you want in next life, and people they never think like that, and then they say I don't want another life, then you should chant Hare Krishna. Imagine when Srila Prabhupada went to the West, all were Christians, Muslims, atheists, but somehow he got them to chant Hare Krishna. Now we are preaching in India in a very pious place. If we work together to achieve this goal, we will have Kali fleeing. So I do thank all for assembling together and agreeing to work together. And I also heard that you also came to participate. You also came to participate in each other's festival with the objective of achieving 2020 goals. All glories to your service. All glories to Lord Chaitanya. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so one small um, question, maybe like 2-3 minutes we will take. Can devotees share in message or in some medium what all points you liked in the short address of Guru Maharaj? Like what way we can actually please him, what way we can actually you know do something in a way that it brings happiness to him, right? So can devotees just put in the chat box or like speak up or something like that, whatever is feasible. So just 2 minutes we'll take to reflect upon.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Prabhu.
Hmm.
Dandavat Prabhu. Guru Maharaj desires Bangalore city should be the first Iskcon, first Krishna consciousness city in the world. That is his desire. So wanted to do a little uh, service, little I wanted to serve from my end, Prabhu.
Jai, Jai. Nice one. So there are some messages that has come. Each temple has its own way of doing things, but still coming together to achieve, a common goal. Nice, very nice. This one. Chai,
Otherwise,
Uttam Damodar Prabhu, my obeisances, Prabhuji is very senior to me. By coming together and ensuring that we preach to a large number of people. Nice. We should enhance more and more on devotee care. Yes, so and work in unison. Yeah, a very nice. This one's spreading Krishna consciousness to everyone. So, like I kind of emphasizing to read Srila Prabhupada's books. If we read them and studying them, then we can preach effectively. It's very nice. So we see that one common or one very powerful thing that Guru Maharaj says is that to work cooperatedly and be united and things like that. So it is something very similar to what Srila Prabhupada also gave, this instruction. So your love for me will be shown by how you work cooperatively and things like that. So it's very, very important thing. So it is not lack of competence, that is actually um, making us not grow or something like that. And just for the information, this was around 5 years before 2020, if I'm not wrong, when Guru Maharaj made the statements. And in the 2020, we could not achieve the goal what Guru Maharaj gave. So it's not a very good this one. So it is not because of lack of competence. It's not because of like no capacity or something like that. No, see, we are living in Kali Yuga, and one thing which Arjuna was very much worried about, at the end of first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, is that he was very much worried about Varna Shankara. So Varna Shankara means like children that are born without proper samskara or like and things like that. So practically speaking, bulk of the people, including myself. So we are all Varna Shankara. So basic, we have not, or like maybe many would have in India is still pious. So like many would have born of samskara. So there is an intrinsic nature of Kali that is there, that is quarrel and hypocrisy. And because of this, it's a very, very, sensitive, this one. So we are practicing Krishna consciousness, but still somewhere or other, this quality, surfaces up somewhere. So it requires a lot of tolerance. It requires a lot of endeavor to cooperate actually. And one very important thing which Guru Maharaj mentioned in that short address is that cooperating, like individually practicing Krishna consciousness is very easy. No, very easy means it's also difficult, but more difficult is to practice Krishna consciousness collectively. And Guru Maharaj mentions that if we cooperate, that is why if we cooperate and practice Krishna consciousness and preach Krishna consciousness, Krishna is more pleased. So this is very nicely actually seen in the case of Prachatas, when they are performing tapasya underwater for 10,000 years. And when the Lord appears pleased with their tapasya, so you imagine like staying underwater for 10,000 years and then performing tapasya. It's a very, very daunting task. And when Lord appears, he actually appreciates, oh, you 10 of you, you stayed together and you executed devotional service. I'm very pleased with you. He's not even telling even one word about staying underwater. So he is telling about like you people stayed together, no? So I'm very, very pleased with you. Right. So this is something that pleases the spiritual master. This is something that pleases the Supreme Lord. It pleases everyone basically. So it is very, very important, to actually act cooperatively. So I've kind of studied the graph of why we are not able to grow beyond a certain point. So the point is, there's somehow or other, like, in fact, when Guru Maharaj gave this instruction, I, kind of went and took blessings from various devotees and, requested them that, to bless that, we may be of some use in some way, we can help in this particular mission and things like that. So when I showed it to Vaisheshika Prabhu, so he mentioned that if you happen to preach and bring about so many devotees, you will be creating so many problems that whole of GBC has to sit and solve all the problems, all the problems that you people will be creating. So this is accepted, or this is kind of expected in Kali Yuga. More the devotees, more the problems. No, that's there because of our own contaminated minds that we have got from our past samskara and things like that. So, but there is a need to purify this, and there is a need to tolerate, each other's, shortcomings and faults and things like that for the sake of higher purpose. In one, somewhere I heard this, like analogy of porcupines, porcupines generally they have this. needle kind of a thorny kind of a body. And during cold season, so generally, like, cold is like very freezing, and the animals, if you have seen, like, in Vrindavan, when you go in the cold season, like during Kartik and all, so you will find early in the morning all the monkeys will be in one bunch. They will be
Yeah.
like, catching each other and things like that, because the
Yeah.
bodies generate heat. And so they take they don't have blankets and things like that, so they generally like generate heat by coming together. And generally, if you see like porcupines, they are, it's, even if they want to come together, it's like very,
They
very
can't.
difficult, to go near to another porcupine. So, but then the only way to, survive the cold temperature is that somehow or other we have to stay together. So it may be very difficult. It may be, difficult to put up with another devotee and things like that. But it's very, very important. We must tolerate and stay together. So this is the key thing, that, one thing that I see, that in the experimentations of preaching the message of Krishna consciousness. So whenever I try to solve the problems, like, in fact, people say that in Whitefield, we have grown to a good extent in a short time. Basically, like, we started off at around 50, 60 devotees in 2017-18, and now we are no more than 1,200. So, like, one thing that I see is that whenever there is an issue, like, only thing that I could do is, of somehow or other, try to solve the issue by falling at the feet of devotees, or like, trying to explain them what is the this one, and also like sometimes punishing appropriately and things like that. So, like, I could not practically do any preaching. So, but then, just keeping devotees together. So that actually created a lot of preaching. So, in fact, it is very, very important that, like, the most important preaching is somehow or other we need to bring people together. There is no lack of competence. Everyone is intelligent and blessed by Krishna. So they can do wonderful tasks only if we can solve, like, these kind of, the natural deficiencies, that are there because of our past samskaras. So this is not something like, no, even without willfully, like, naturally, like, we have the nature of the Kali Yuga, this one. So, other instructions regarding, Srila Gurudev, given to, especially to Bangalore. So this make Bangalore Krishna conscious city, and in fact, during that time, so Guru Maharaj, in fact, worked out, like, along with the devotees and things like that. So what it means to make, Krishna conscious city. This can be like, even devotees from other cities also can actually meditate about it. So if 1% of the population, if they can become devotees, so then, it can be termed as a Krishna conscious city. So it's a very, very practical statistics, that Guru Maharaj actually revealed. And so what it means to have 1%. So, like, that time it was kind of a 1 crore kind of a population. No, I think it is more. So, like, 1% of that is 1 lakh devotees. And 1 lakh devotees means, like, it requires, if 10 people per Bhakti Vriksha, so it requires 10,000 Bhakti Vrikshas. And even Guru Maharaj told about 100 centers and 10 temples. So these are all different numbers, that Guru Maharaj personally gave. In fact, one time I was serving Guru Maharaj in Kerala, and so, like, in between service, I got some opportunity to speak. And so, in fact, I wanted to clarify. No, this 100 centers was not heard directly. I did not hear from Guru Maharaj. So I asked him that, like, is it true? Like, you wanted 100 centers in Bangalore. So then he kind of asked how many you have. And then I told my number, and then he calculated other numbers he had. He had like everything in memory, how much Seshadripuram has, how much other temple has, and things like that. And then he told, like, that time it came up something up to 23. And then, like, he told, still you have, so no, not 23. It came up to 17, I suppose, at that time. It's much earlier. So then he mentioned that, okay, 83 more to go. So you can go. So then it was like, no, very, very clear instruction that this 100 centers is something that Guru Maharaj wanted. So a center, what do we call, when do we call a place as a center? Where a group of congregation is nicely connected, a group of Bhakti Vrikshas are nicely connected, Sunday feast happens, and then all the festivals are celebrated in that center. And no, it's a very proper, fully contained kind of a association. Like anybody who's connected to the center, they're getting all the vitamins of Krishna consciousness. So then it is considered to be a center. So, like, then we kind of made that a very, very important thing that we noted that this is something, is pleasing to Guru Maharaj. And so we tried to work towards that. So right now we are at somewhere around 12 centers, and I know Seshadripuram is way ahead. Like you have many more centers, so you're more pleasing to Srila Gurudev. So, but I'm just expressing my journey that. We try to encourage devotees. So whenever there is a devotee who is competent and nicely coming up and things like that, so we identify them and we encourage them. No, why don't you go to another place? And there are devotees who have changed their jobs, who have given up their own houses and shifted to a new area, and who have changed the child's school just for the sake of preaching, and who have taken up some less paying jobs and things like that. So they just simply want to somehow or other expand the mission of Krishna consciousness and simply want to like preach the glories of Krishna and and for the pleasure of Srila Gurudev. So you'll be surprised in Whitefield, at least like we have 14, 15 different Maharaj disciples, and all of them resonate with the instructions of Guru Maharaj. Because Guru Maharaj is the GBC of this place, and he has given a very pertinent instruction, for the devotees here. And we present it in a way that which is nice, and all of them are very. In fact, once Gopal Krishna Maharaj told one of the disciples of Gopal Krishna Maharaj, he asked how can I please you? How can I serve you? And he told no, this is like here, whatever is the local mission is there, you just support and you just give your whole energy and this one, that will be pleasing to me. So this is such an amazing this one. And in this way, the devotees have full confidence that their respective spiritual masters will be satisfied if they follow the instructions that is given by, like Srila Gurudev here. And so that is very, very pleasing. This is the Vaishnava community. This is the way the Vaishnavas actually feel that, by serving the local mission. So definitely, like we will, in some places, some of you who have joined from various places in the world, if you really want to please Guru Maharaj, whatever is the local mission, it's there. Everyone is like looking for preaching and practicing intensely Krishna consciousness and preaching the message of Krishna consciousness. So if we strongly support the local mission, so then Guru Maharaj will be very, very pleased with that kind of an endeavor, right? So this thing of 1% of the population becoming Krishna conscious, 10,000 Bhakti Vrikshas, and 100 centers and 10 temples. These are all like directly the words of Guru Maharaj, especially given to Bangalore, and it can be translated into different numbers for different cities. And we have a recent statistics I just kind of pulled through. Like 45 around centers are there in Bangalore, and remaining like 55 is there. So there are many a lot of work has to be done actually. So all of us have a lifetime of work, actually to be done. And in fact, Guru Maharaj actually has mentioned many times, preaching report is the real medicine. So, in fact, sometimes, this kind of message also he had given, that the doctors are telling like this medicine will work, that medicine will work, and we need to chant like devotees chanting various prayers like that. No, Guru Maharaj, it pleases to Guru Maharaj, but the thing that pleases him and the thing that actually acts as a strong medicine, for him is that if we preach and send preaching report. In fact, whenever he sees leaders, whenever he sees us, like, only one thing that he asks is like, did you send your report? So like, that's something like that he wants. You like maybe for new people and congregation and things like that. So he may, ask how are you and things like that and all. So, but when he sees the leaders, he asks for reports, and he tells that I used to send reports to Srila Prabhupada. No, like regularly, I used to send reports to Srila Prabhupada, and he liked it. And I also want to see the reports. So it's very, very important that, and sometimes devotees may feel like, okay, like only some senior devotees will be able to send reports. No, like what we are doing, and the report should not be like, no, I'm. It's good to remember the interactions that we had with Guru Maharaj. That's very nice. But then the thing that will please Guru Maharaj is what have you done fulfilling his instructions? If you have studied Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, and the various Shastri courses, he's been speaking about it a lot, and that's very, very pleasing to him. And then if you have done some preaching, you have helped somebody to chant Hare Krishna, and if you have helped somebody to progress in Krishna consciousness, that's very pleasing to him. And the many other things that we can actually get from his lectures, and this one Vaishnava Sadachar, and helping other devotees who are in trouble. Like in fact, he mentioned that if you help some devotee who are in in fact, Guru Maharaj cited his own example when he went to some temple, and somebody like was they were kind of, he felt that something wrong with that person, and Guru Maharaj called and he asked like, no, how are you, what's happening, and like, no, what's like, how can I help you, and things like that. And then the other person shares like, no, I'm going through a lot, and I never thought that I could speak to anybody, I could connect with somebody. And in fact, like, no, I lost my spiritual shelter, no, I lost my spiritual master or something like that. And then I could not understand like, no, how will I get guidance and things like that. So then Guru Maharaj told like, no, even if nobody is there in the world, I am there for you. No, so it's like something very amazing. No, so this is how these are the things like which Guru Maharaj likes. In fact, one time he told that how many Ritviks you actually take them on board this side. So I'll be very happy. So in fact, we tried that project as well. We could get quite a few change the board. So these are all things like which is very pleasing to spiritual master. And when we take endeavor in this direction, praying to Guru Maharaj that, no, I want to be engaged in your service, and we endeavor in this direction, and whatever result comes. So one thing is like, it is not that Guru Maharaj is behind numbers. No, whatever, even if I preach to one person and go and report to him, he'll be so happy. In fact, he will speak about it all over the world. No, my disciple, no, he preached to somebody and he reported to me. Like, no, he'll be very, very happy. In fact, one time, like in one of the this one articles, the like Ekadashi articles or the newsletters that he sends. So one of the articles, like yeah, I vaguely remember the sentence. So he mentioned that sometimes, like devotees are worried that no, I may be displeased with something. So somehow or other, I managed to be pleased with everybody. So I want everybody to make progress. So, but if you can render some service, which I like, and if you can preach and things like that, I'll be very, very pleased. So there is no question of displeasing, this Guru Maharaj. Like we have such an amazing personality, who doesn't take offenses so easily. And even, we have seen people who have done greatest of, like wrong things. Still Guru Maharaj is very merciful to them. No, he somehow or other manages to become pleased with our service, whatever service that we render. So this is a great, what is that? No, it's a great opportunity, basically. The if we can render service to Guru and Krishna, and if they can become pleased with our service, then our heart becomes purified of lust, anger, greed, and things like that. So just that, if we can do this a small activity of reporting, anyone can do. Even our activities are collated and sent through the temple in a mass way, so that is very good. And in fact, we encourage devotees to also directly send out reports to Guru Maharaj. He likes it very much. And studying of scriptures also we discussed, and then yeah. So these are all like very very important aspects. And when it comes to the thing, again, I come back to the initial point, one of the points that I raised, that what did we get from spiritual master? So we get the Hare Krishna mantra, we get the regulative principles, we get the holy scriptures of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and all the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. So, whenever we see that we are getting some benefit in Krishna consciousness, and what's the benefit that we can actually get? So, benefit is if Krishna becomes pleased and we become attached to the holy name and Srimad Bhagavatam. So, that's the sign of making advancement in Krishna consciousness. And we become detached from the worldly things and we become attached to the holy name and Srimad Bhagavatam. So, whenever we are reciprocated by Krishna in this way, we should actually offer thanks to and offer our gratitude to like everyone in Guru Parampara, and especially the latest link. So in fact, there is a nice analogy which one devotee His Grace Patri Prabhu, I don't know how many of you know about him. He came to Bangalore some time back, and he gave this analogy. It's like there is only one source of mercy, that is Krishna. So there is no second source of mercy. So he's the Gunarnava, or he's the like ocean of mercy, right? And how does this mercy actually is accessed? He gave an example. You have a water tank in your building, and water tank is the reservoir of all the water that is there in your building. But that water tank is of no use to you, until unless if there is a pipeline and tap, that is fitted in your room, right? So this pipeline is the Guru Parampara, and the tap is the spiritual master. Even if one area, even if a small uh, small defect in anywhere in the pipeline, no, you're not going to get the mercy. So if Krishna is reciprocating with us, with any devotional service that we are doing, that means Krishna is pleased, Srimati Radharani is pleased, the Guru Parampara is pleased, and the spiritual master is pleased. If any one of them is not pleased, we are not going to get the result of mercy of Krishna. So it's very, very important that like whenever we get something, this is a channel through which it is getting delivered. May not be that spiritual master is not all the time around us, or we are not able to be there around spiritual master all the time. We are not able to we may not get the direct instructions or direct service and things like that. So but that is not the most important thing. The most important thing is to follow the instructions, and Guru Maharaj also expects the senior devotees, senior disciples, to guide the junior ones. And in that way, like the mood and mission of the spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada. So that needs to be kept in the center, and we need to help the other devotees, and in the way like we can render some service to please the spiritual master. And the mercy flows. And the mercy flows, it's like it's a spiritual principle. It's not limited to material proximity. It's not limited to any material shortcomings and things like that. It's a spiritual principle. The spiritual master can bless from any place, from anywhere. It's just that we need to render appropriate service, to the spiritual master, and seeking his blessings, and sincerely wanting to make advancement in Krishna consciousness. And one more important thing that we focused upon is being united, for preaching the message of Krishna consciousness. So just a small point I would like to just mention, and like a small point, it's one important concept that I need to mention. So the way to render service is so it is already there. It's just like if you go to a doctor, he may give a prescription. The prescription what he gives is all the medicines are already available in the medical shop. He's not going to create something new in the prescription. So in the same way, Nectar of Devotion actually mentions the devotional service is 64 in number, and it is well documented in the scriptures. And when the spiritual master, when he gives the instructions to the disciple, he gives a combination of these things. right? So this is the bhakti, aspects. There are 64 items, and the prominent ones are Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, and things like that. And Srila Prabhupada has given to us in the form of Mangalarati, chanting, Guru Puja, Bhagavatam class, Sankirtan, and preaching programs, and Gaur Arati, and like these programs that he has given us. So this is the way in which these 64 items of devotional services serve to us, and we should very, very like diligently and with a lot of gratitude, we should embrace the program given by Srila Prabhupada and program given, passed on in the Guru Parampara to us. And as much as possible for the congregation and for the full timers, like, we should be like very, very attached to the program that is given by the Acharyas. And so then when we cannot just be satisfied with the 64 items of bhakti, so then we are allowed to also exercise uh, the jnana and karma. So, jnana karma, the anavritam. So, we can actually add jnana and karma to the extent it doesn't cover bhakti. So, the items of jnana are very nicely mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. That is amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshantirarjavam, acharya pasanam, saucham. So like that. So these are all items, that is 13th chapter, if I'm not wrong, text 8 to 12. So these items of knowledge has to be practiced. And then we also can add karma. So that is, one can get married, one can follow the grahastha dharma, and one can, one needs to. In fact, it is a very, very important concern that is there. Sometimes devotees, in the name of practicing pure devotional service, they neglect their family responsibilities and duties and things like that. So that's that's not very good. In fact, when Arjuna wanted to like move away from his responsibility of fighting, being a Kshatriya, so Krishna did not approve of that. So if at all we have taken the component of karma, so then we need to follow that very nicely. So we need to follow our prescribed duties very nicely. So like taking care of the dependents, taking care of the parents, taking care of like doing a dharmic or doing a job that is not contrary to devotional service, and then offering the results of our work in the service of the Lord. And in this way, like we need to follow a dharmic package of Krishna consciousness in our life. So in that way, like we can please the spiritual master, and we can try to preach the same thing to the people in general as well. So with this, I pause. Now we have a little bit of time for question and answers. So I'll take few questions and then we can close. Hare Krishna.
So devotees, if you have any question, you can raise your hands. So this first question from Shri Lalita Sumukhi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for the very nice class. I mean, it was very practical. So I had two questions, Prabhuji. You said that to spiritual advancement, indication that you're advancing spiritually is you have attraction to holy name and to read Bhagavatam. Only two?
So if you are actually attracted to holy name and why specifically I take these two? Because like Kali Yuga's dharma is chanting of the names of the Lord, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically mentioned about this Kali Yuga dharma. And we have many other devotional services as well, so we can get attached to all of them. But then exclusively, Kalikala Dharma is like Krishna Nama Sankirtana. So that is very, very important. And so we have many, many references for that. Hare Nama, and then many, many shlokas we can actually cite for that. And Srimad Bhagavatam also is very, very important in Kali Yuga, because in the Bhagavatam, when the discussion came that when Krishna left this planet, so Krishna Swadama Upagata, Dharma Jnana Divi Saha, no, Kalau Nashta Drishamesham, Purana or Adunodita. So specifically, the most powerful medicine amongst the 64 items of devotional service is these two, like chanting of the names of the Lord and study of Srimad Bhagavatam. And if we are really very much attracted, to something, so we will also distribute them. So preaching essentially means like distributing the holy name and distributing Srimad Bhagavatam, like in the form of teachings, in the form of books, so in the form of helping people to understand and practice and things like that. So this is, we can actually speak a whole seminar on this, like how the holy name and Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of things that needs to be followed in Kali Yuga. And specifically, like we in our inner circles, like we keep, reiterating this particular point that, like holy name and Srimad Bhagavatam. So these are the two things that we need to be attached to. And we should be very much attached to distributing these two things as well. So, like, if we understand this is the real medicine and people are suffering, because of the material disease, so then one of the aspects of a devotee is that, he cannot tolerate, Krishna's children suffering in this material world. So he profusely distributes these two things. So preaching also gets added into this, this one. So, in simplicity's sake, we just mentioned that, developing more and more attraction to holy name and Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Got Yeah. I mean, the second one was like if we are a part of a bigger bhakti center and there are many small bhakti vrikshas. So if we want to send report by collating all of them and all, it's going to take time. So if I want to do it personally, my bhakti vriksha community, that is how do we
I'm not able to hear
through
you.
the app, GPS app.
Voice
Can
was
you hear
break.
me now, Prabhuji?
Yes,
Hare
yes,
Krishna.
yes,
Yeah. Can you hear me now, Prabhuji?
yes.
Yeah. So that's what if we are if how do I do it? How do I send that report to my Guru Maharaj? I mean to Guru Maharaj?
Yes, JPS app is there, that is there.
Okay. Okay.
And also, Guru Maharaj's email ID is also quite, there, where he receives all the reports and things like that. So JPS app is a very good platform, to send. Yeah.
Okay. And how frequently this will not be a botheration for them? I mean, number of
Yeah, so like devotees basically like this acts as a medicine to Guru Maharaj. He likes it, he likes it. So in fact, one time like one devotee was mentioning that if Guru Maharaj is there in like in a group or in some crowd and things like that, how to get attention of him. So if you tell like if you shout out that no preaching report or something like that, you may get attention and you can go close and things like that. So
Okay,
that's how he
Prabhuji.
likes
Hare
it.
Krishna. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Maladharni, Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
And
Krishna.
thank you so much for your session, Prabhu. Prabhu, my question is also the same, actually, about the report. So, because I'm doing very small services, like I'm taking teens class and then small services within our community I'm doing. So always I think won't it be very too much for Guru Maharaj to read the report? So how often should we send? And
See, generally we try to do a practice of quarterly, so that is something like nice. See, understanding the personality of Guru Maharaj is an oceanic personality. I even don't know like how he gets time, but then he is the way he actually does his activities is like quite amazing, like quite amazing. So, and he has got many assistants to do like many of the different tasks. So they actually read out, and if more messages are there, like Guru Maharaj will employ more assistants, and like all this is taken, and then in a nice summary form, it has been mentioned, and it's quite amazing to see like how he finds time, like but he finds time. It's quite. It's a good thing for us actually. We can do some service and we can actually get connected and we can and Guru Maharaj like remembers us and then he feels pleased about our service. Like it makes a lot of this. In fact, see, when our superiors also becomes pleased with our service, so we can understand that it pleases the spiritual master. So, but specifically when he asks us to send out, so we can also try to send out, that kind of a thing. At least, if not like regularly, like even once in 3 months or 6 months or 1 year or something like that. So even at least once, it's very nice actually.
thank you so much.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a good timeline. Like we can send quarterly because I also used to think like how frequently should I send, but I think the quarterly is a good one. Thank you, Proji, for suggesting that. There is a question from Manoranjan Rajesh Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Vijay Dhanatman Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful pastime shared about Guru Maharaj. It's a very honor to hear. Prabhu, in the same line to the report only, Prabhu. Any sample report? I mean, just like how we can send, like, can you just explain, enlighten on that, Prabhu?
See, it should be like very short, and he likes numbers and statistics and things like that. So, and if there is some pictures you can add, but not too clumsy and things like that. It's just simply like, no, I tried to engage in such and such this one, and this are the results, for your pleasure. So it's like in a simple way you can write.
Okay.
And you'll be surprised. You'll get replies as well.
Oh, thank you. Prabhu, basically the question, thank you for the Prabhu. Just adding to the same only. Prabhu, here center-wise, I mean, I'm just working under a particular center. Here, so many Maharajas, disciples used to do some seva. So is it a collective report or only a individual Guru
See,
Maharaj?
more collective it is, more happier he is.
Oh, very good.
So like he likes, working together, and like when devotees are collectively working together, that's, you saw in that message that he had given that, is it specifically, he very, very clear about, if you work together, work cooperatively, like he's going to be very, very pleased. And specifically, if you have such kind of a this one, like, if you are, serving along with other spiritual master disciples, and then all of you have nice, cordial relationship, he'll be very, very pleased.
Thanks a lot, Prabhu, for clarifying the point. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Very well. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So any other devotee wants to ask any question? Excellent class, Prabhu. Can we print the Mahamantra in our company card?
Yeah. We should in every way. We should. So this innovative ideas, if you tell that, like, we have got some idea like this and we are printing it, and you will find that next message, like, he'll be sending out all across the globe, like, so there is a new bridging initiative, like, everybody should print Mahamantra on your business card and things like that. So, Guru Maharaj likes,
And also, Prabhu, they just doing this activity. Nowadays, Jepto, Blinkit, and all are very popular. So what I do when I say Hindu guy is coming to my doorstep, I distribute the holy name to him. Actually, I'll make him chant actually. So that's a very instruction of Guru Maharaj actually. Yarade Kotare Guru Shnopades. So if a Muslim is coming to my doorstep, I'll pray for him actually. That I just do that.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Hare Krishna. ठीक है. Hare Krishna. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for taking out time and giving us your wonderful association. We know like your schedule is very busy, but still for our benefit, you came and gave you a wonderful time. So we want to thank Prabhuji by chanting one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Thank you,
Rama.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thanks, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhu Hare Krishna. Krishna Prabhu.